Yes, everybody, what is going on? My name is Stephen Howson. Welcome to the channel. There'll be a preview tomorrow and also a review after the match. So make sure you are subscribed and you've got notifications on and come and join us whenever we go live or if we upload a video. United play Liverpool this week, who are on a record-breaking run, probably about as confident and good as Liverpool have ever been, and probably about as bad as United have been in memory. Really not looking forward to it. Kind of a bit of dread going to Old Trafford on Sunday as well. Like, I'm still going. I'm still going to turn up. We still turn up deluded, if you like, thinking we can actually get something out of the game, support everyone every step of the way. But let's be real here. The chances of us actually doing that, I think we're all pretty realistic that it might not happen. That being said, here's 3 things that I would like to see this weekend against Liverpool. The first one, heart and desire. Now, normally this doesn't translate to stuff, and I see people forever going, oh, like managers that sit down, or, you know, where's the passion? And you think, sometimes I'd rather have quality. But in a fixture like this, passion and desire and heart and fight can really make a massive difference. I remember Manchester City, when they was well shit, used to frequently beat United because the players was up for it and it was their cup final. I don't remember it because it wasn't my time, but in the 80s, United, when Liverpool was very dominant, would always get a result against them because there was players with heart and desire, and we treated it like our cup final. I'm not sure that it's going to have that sort of vibe on Sunday, but I look at this United team and knowing that when we go behind, we stay behind and we don't fight back, I question whether we've got the ability to do that. There's a massive lack of players taking responsibility in the squad. It was once known as the biggest fixture in football calendar. I don't know which fixtures you look for when you get the fixture list, but Liverpool is the first one I look for, then City. Then it's like Arsenal and Chelsea and that. They haven't beaten us at Old Trafford in the league since David Moyes in 13-14. We're 15 points behind them after 9 games. It's our worst start to a season since 89-90. We are 2 points above the relegation zone. We're looking at junior players like McTominay, James, Rashford to try and pull something out. I want to see some heart and I want to see some desire and I want to see some fucking leadership from somebody. And I don't care where that comes from, but I want to see something. Someone show me something this weekend. Show me that there's something to fight for. Show me that you've not just totally tossed it off and are going to phone it in when a big club comes up and betters you on the football field. Fuck that shit. Let's get stuck into them. Let's show them that this is fucking Old Trafford and we don't roll over and tickle our bellies for fucking nobody. Point 2. Second thing I would like to see is players played in their right position. I see so many people saying, can we try Lindelof at defensive midfield? Can we try Axel Tuanzebe defensive midfield? Can we try fucking anything, anywhere? We have got a serious lack of depth. We have got a serious lack of quality. That doesn't get helped by playing people out of position, in my opinion. Axel Tuanzebe at left back, do a job. Probably not the worst idea ever, actually, against Liverpool. We've come up against Salah, but if he's going to get better and develop as a centre-half, he needs to play centre-half. Playing left back's not going to help him do that. Mata on the right, it's not going to work. I don't want to see Fred tried at left back. I don't want to see Fred tried as a right winger. I don't want to see players played out of position. Anthony Martial, massive loss for United over recent weeks. Looks like he's probably not going to feature. Sound. We have strikers. Play them as a striker. Rashford proved in the week he's probably better coming off the left than he is down the middle. He is going to be fighting it out with James. I think James is probably someone that could play on the right more effectively than Marcus could play on the right. So let's play him on the right-hand side. Jesse Lingard was actually one of the key players along with Ander Herrera in our big run last season, as was Phil Jones, bizarrely. But those are the players that featured heavily in the great run that we had under Solskjaer at the start of Solskjaer's reign. He's not going to feature. Pogba's not going to feature, arguably our best midfielder. Wan-Bissaka's probably not going to feature because of tonsillitis. We've lost our best goalkeeper, our best defender, our best midfielder, and our best forward. Don't weaken the quality that's in the squad that's already pretty fragile by playing people in positions that they're unfamiliar with. Even if you have to go lower down and find an academy player, I would rather an academy player come in and play left back who is a left back than trying to fucking shoe on Matic or Fred or somebody in there. Do you know what I mean? That's what these young lads are paid to do and are trying to do. And do you know what? I don't think it'd be the worst thing ever for one of these lads to be given their debut in a game like this. People go, oh, they don't have the experience. Okay, what does experience mean? Experience to me means consistency and decision making. And I think the decision making of some of these young lads is actually very good. Consistency, we don't know. We have no idea because they don't play often enough. But decision making is the big one, really. That and quality. Show me some quality, man. The third thing that I want to see from Manchester United this weekend against Liverpool is flexibility. United have been stuck without a plan B so far for this entire season. Whenever we've gone behind, we've stayed behind and we haven't won. We've lined up in 4-2-3-1 every single game. We are suited to being a counter-attacking side, and we end up with more possession than the opposition in most of our games. Probably won't be the case on Sunday, but we also don't have any players with the ability to play a killer ball when Pogba's not in the team. When I look at this team, I go, how does this team beat Liverpool? And I can't tell you. Our best chance is arguably a set piece, which we've been shit at since the 90s. I don't see passages of play where I go, that'll tear Liverpool apart. I don't see, aside from the counter-attack, but I don't see anyone who can play the ball in the right area at the right time to facilitate a proper counter-attack without Paul Pogba. Where's those forward passes? Where's those passes through the lines? Where's the creativity? Pereira's going to have more shots than any of our forwards because his fucking decision-making is that of a toddler, if he plays. We managed only 2 shots on target against Newcastle. Against Alkmaar, we didn't manage a single one. United are very easy to figure out. We are predictable. The reason why people want somebody like a Mandzukic is because you've got the ability to change on the fly. If United go a goal behind, and let's be honest, it's a very fucking strong possibility, I don't want to see Solskjaer keep the same thing going and hope for the best. It's not working. Change it. Madness is when you do the same thing every single time and expect a different result. United played very well against Newcastle at home. The last time we met, we had 4 injuries and limited them to only 2 shots. They didn't look like they were dominating the game, even though they dominated possession, and United had opportunities where we could have won that. 4 injuries and only 3 subs really screwed us in that one. If this goes wrong, and I would expect people with the experience of Solskjaer, Mike Phelan, Carrick and McKenna, even though they're new to the game, are not new to the game. They must anticipate Liverpool will take the lead against us. What are they talking about in their planning meetings today and tomorrow and Saturday to work through what happens if Liverpool score in the first 5 minutes? Because we could get a cricket score against us. They could run up half a dozen. We see them do it. This isn't like it's a team that doesn't put goals past people. We have literally seen them do it. Are we going to shut up shop and try and take a 1-0 loss? Or are we going to go, fuck that shit, and are we going to attack them? And are we prepared to concede again if we try and attack? Personally, I just want to see a plan B. I want to see a desire to change. I want to see Manchester United look like we are trying to win this game of football. And I think a lot of us will take a defeat, which is hard for me to even say, if we look like we give a shit and if we look like we've had some intelligent thinking. Recently this season, we've seen the same team that turned up at Leicester, I think, turned up at West Ham, 2 totally different footballing styles, and we expected the same team to go and perform. I don't want to see predictability from United. Whether that means giving a youngster an opportunity and go, fuck it. Whether that means a new formation. Whether that means a new focus. I want to see something where I go, they've worked on that this week. And right or wrong, if we can see that, I'll be happy. If they try something and it fails, at least you fucking tried. I just don't want to see us turn up with the same old plan A, watch it go to absolute rat shit because we are just not as good as Liverpool, and go, we tried plan A. Because if you haven't anticipated that we're probably going to go behind at some stage in this game, then you haven't done your fucking job properly. That's what I want to see. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. And before I go, I just want to let you know, we've had a bit of an influx of people on Patreon since we started talking about it on a bit more of a regular basis. This channel is supported by people on Patreon. When you don't see a sponsored video, there's still staff in here that are paid to create these videos and to make a higher quality of content. This is a city centre studio which costs a lot of money to rent every single week. It costs significant times of what my house costs. All of this has a cost associated to it. When you see these videos coming out with no sponsor on them, we're footing the bill for all of those. Patreon supports this channel and allows us to do it. With more patrons, we can make better content and more varied content, and we can bring in better guests, and we can go and do trips and everything that you guys ask us to do. As a reward for what goes on with Patreon and the support that we get from Patreon, they've got a Discord group with match day stuff, loads of different channels where there's different conversations happening. We have a FIFA tournament where you can call yourself the world champion if you like, if you win that. We have five-a-side. The first one's happening in a couple of weeks, 25th of October, where you can come down and play us five-a-side and come and hang out. We have a few drinks. And we're also going to be starting some live podcasts. The first one we are very close to booking. It's probably going to be at Hotel Football in Manchester. And it's going to be with an ex-United player. We are also in the planning stage of another podcast, another live one, which will be with a United legend, an Irish one, and it'll be in Dublin. And we're hoping to take these all the way around the world. For those that are already in the Patreon group, it looks like, from the responses that we've had, East Coast of America, West Coast of America, and Australia are the places that we would like to take these. We have to hit a certain number of Patreons to cover the cost of getting that guest in and having them overnight. But what we want to do, especially with the likes of Dublin, we'll arrive in Dublin, we'll play five-a-side with yous, we'll go and do a live podcast with our special guest, we'll hang out for a little bit, and we'll have a fucking good time. That's only going to be open to Patreons. There's going to be totally free entry because you're a patron, you've already covered the cost of it. Those videos will only be going up on Patreon, so those who can't make it, if you're from Australia and you can't make it to the Dublin one, you'll still get to see that podcast. But they will not be going up on YouTube for everybody else to see. So if you'd like to support the channel and you'd like to get involved in what's a pretty good community, some belting rewards, then the link is in the description. Come to find out what it's all about. See you in the next one.